Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes.
Yay.
Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
This is
We're
gonna
already
work
doing
out
good.
just fine.
It's all coming together. Hi.
Timmy got a collar. It has fishies
We
on
got a
it.
call. Yeah. Fishies? Because he's a cat. And cats like
Yeah,
fishies. That's
cats
pretty
like
good.
fishies. His favorite toy is a fishy, so it actually really works. And Gil got a matching one because his favorite toy is one of those worms on a string, and they probably sold out of that design.
It's probably pretty popular. I would want
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Jack has several pairs of earrings that are worm on a string. He just has like
Yeah.
different colors.
How can he have those in a house with a cat? He has a cat, right?
Yeah, he has a couple cats. I guess they're like they have a better toys. I don't know,
And worm
as
on a
if that's
string?
possible.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
Okay, I just decided I need to go to the
He just
bathroom.
changes. He keeps them in his pocket, and he'll leave the house, and then he'll put his earrings in because the big danglies they're too attractive to cats.
Yeah, that's definitely
Yeah,
true. That's why
we
I don't
just
wear
don't know.
danglies anymore. I'm gonna be right back.
Okay, maybe I will too. So I just have something to show you. Do you want to see it?
Okay.
Okay. This is the back, but it's one of those green screen things.
No way.
Yeah,
Are you gonna put yourself in movies?
probably.
It is an absolute shame that you hadn't got that by the time we did the Vortilac.
Yes.
That would have
Yeah, that would
been
have been really good. But it's okay, there's other
That's
movies
so
out there.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jude gave it to me because he bought it for streaming and then barely used it and was like, I never use this. I don't want it. Do you
Does
want
he
it? And I was
stream?
like, sure. Huh?
Should I follow him on Twitch?
Yeah, you should follow him on Twitch. And if I ever knew his username, I'd tell you it right now.
Hmm. If I had a Twitch, I would.
You'd
If I
follow him.
knew
Yeah,
what Twitch was really, I would do it. But even
exactly,
still to
right?
this day, it's a little intimidating to me.
I guess it's like you watch people do stuff, right? Like I understand the very basic principle of it. That, that's kind of all.
What I like is watching stream highlights on
Hmm.
YouTube.com because
Yeah,
then
because
that way you don't
somebody
have
else
to
has
watch all the
already
boring
watched.
parts.
Exactly. Somebody else has already watched the whole stream, picked out the parts that are worth watching, and then given them to you.
Yeah.
It's sick.
That's kind of what you do with our podcast too.
Yeah, that's true.
It's really a win for me.
It's like that phrase when something is saved in the edit. I've been thinking about that a lot recently because it's kind of a phrase that annoys me because I just think that that's the job of an editor. Every movie is saved in the edit because that's part of that's a key part of the process to making the movie good.
And some movies are actively harmed by the edit. It's just a matter
That's
of the
true.
quality of the edit.
Exactly. It's just that's
Mhm.
the job, and some people aren't didn't do the job right. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
with Rogue One, if the editors had tried to make the movie the original movie, then it maybe not have been as good. But because the
Yeah.
editors were like, we're gonna make a movie out of these pieces that you gave us. And they
Yeah.
did, and it's amazing. And it's the greatest movie that you've ever seen, audience member.
I don't know who you are and I don't know where you come from, but I can guarantee the best movie you've ever seen was Rogue One.
It's Rogue One. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Am I right or am I right?
There are a couple points that I'm willing to argue with people. I feel like, especially with Star Wars, you can have a favorite Star Wars movie, but there are a couple wrong answers to what is your favorite Star Wars movie. Rogue One is not one of them.
Rogue One would be a good answer. I would say good answer. If I said, "What's
Yeah,
your favorite Star Wars movie?" and you said actually Rogue One, I would say good answer.
correct. If you said Solo,
If you said Solo, I'd say, really? Haven't you seen the other ones?
Have you been talking to my friend Jack, who loved it?
Yeah.
Hi, Jack.
Hey, two
Second
Jack
Jack
mention.
mention. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we should have like a counter for Jack mentions, Jude mentions, like people that we talk about a lot, just kind of have those stats
That's
up.
so funny. Are you
And
gonna
I
go
could
through all the old
easily,
episodes and count?
that was, no. Then I'd have to watch them again.
What are we talking about today? Well, actually, no, first, I should ask you, how are you?
Oh, good. And
Because we're
how are you?
friends. I'm
Right.
well, thank you. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear it. And your family?
Healthy.
Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And yours?
The same as well. Yes.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah. Friendship, check.
Yeah. So now we can
Now we can
get
dive in.
started. Yeah.
People may have heard of the story of Frankenstein, but how many
Mhm.
Frankenstein movies have they seen? That's the question. And our question
Mhm.
today is how many movies have we seen
Frankenstein movies?
for Frankenstein? Otherwise,
Okay.
way too big. I've
Yeah.
seen
Yeah.
105 individual movies this year so far.
I was going through my letterboxd when I was the other night when I was trying to think of a movie that I would could watch with my grandma, and there are like three from this year, and one of them is Ravenous, a movie that I've had in my holster for years. I just hadn't put it on my letterboxd until this year.
Yeah.
So I
So
need to
there's
be
different
better
ways
about
of
that because
navigating the world.
it's funny because I do have a list on my phone, a list of my favorite movies. It's in my
hmm
notes app. Why do
hmm
I have that? That's the point of Letterboxd. That's
Right,
the
on
what
Letterboxd you
that's
can
what I should
create a
use
list.
it for.
On Letterboxd you can create a list of my
Yeah.
favorite movies. I have one of those, yeah.
I you can also do tags on Letterboxd. You can tag
hmm
it like this movie has a bear trap and cannibalism and a weird finger sucking scene. That
Yeah,
applies to two movies that I
so
know of.
far.
Maybe there's more.
Exactly. And if there's more, you could keep track of them with a handy list or tag on Letterboxd app, which
Yeah.
is what it's for.
hmm
Yeah.
I think a big reason why I don't do well in adult life, and I think the source of a lot of my main struggles is because I don't utilize the tools that I've been given.
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting. Hmm.
No, we're constantly growing, we're constantly evolving. I'm always learning. Even at
Mhm.
almost 30, there's
Wow,
still time.
that's so
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
At
Yeah.
almost 30, there's still time, but when you're 30, all hope
There's
is
no more
lost.
time.
That's
Yeah,
what I've
you
heard.
you've
Yeah,
used up all your time.
right. You're an old
hmm
hag now.
Yeah. I was actually talking to my best friend at work. Her name is Barbara. I love her so much. She's the coolest person in the world. She's like 4'8",
Oh, good.
old
Yeah.
German lady. And I was talking to her today, and she said, I love being mean to people because the customers that come in, especially the men, imagine this with a thick German accent, okay? The
I
men,
am. I am.
they already don't want a woman. So when they
Mhm.
get a woman who's nothing to look at, which is not true, by the way, she's just old.
Sure.
So you see,
Right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
they don't want an old hag, but this means I can give it right back to them. I don't have to pretend to be nice. They can be a
That's
bitch to
true.
me, I can be a bitch to them. And I was like,
If they
yeah,
expect you to be an old hag, just be one.
be one. Yeah.
That's really
Which
good.
actually,
Yeah.
that thought is pretty on theme for the discussion today as well.
Yeah. Yay.
Yeah. I took a lot of notes from all of my different media. I did not do letters.
I thought of letters just a few minutes ago, and you can agree or veto any of these four letters.
Okay.
Okay, for S, I feel like we can keep it science. He's doing
Yeah, because
science.
there's a lot of science in
There's
here.
science in
Yeah.
here. And so that's really good
Yeah.
because usually we do the opposite, where we keep, like for Spider-Man, for example, when we did Spider-Man, technology, engineering, and like we changed the S but kept the rest.
That was pretty funny. Yeah.
That was pretty funny. But this time we don't have to do that. We're keeping science because he's doing science. Then for T, I put trauma because I feel that the creature is a creature of trauma.
I think that is correct. Yeah.
Yeah, poor guy, but good for me for the story.
Trauma, parentheses, poor guy.
Trauma, poor guy. That's good. I'm writing that down.
Mhm.
And then for E, I put Elizabeth because that's another character.
She sure is.
And she's
Yep,
a
yep, yep,
woman.
yep. Yeah.
So, yeah. Woo. And then for M, I thought about doing a monster question mark because then it's like, who are we talking about? Who do you think was the real monster all along, right?
Yeah, I like that a lot. Wow, that's amazing.
Yay! Thank you. This is what happens when I actually prepare even a little bit.
Yeah, that's incredible. Sometimes I feel like we accidentally stumble on fun letters, but almost 100% of the time I mean, they're pretty
It's
half-assed.
like there's it's better if you think about it before.
Yeah. If I came across a
Yeah,
YouTube video with those four letters and
you're
words
clicking.
even, oh
Yeah,
yeah, baby. Yeah.
you're intrigued.
Uh-huh. I like this a lot. I'm pretty excited about today.
Cool. I'll tell you that I watched Young Frankenstein about a month ago, and then I watched 2025
Yay!
Del Toro Frankenstein about 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And I looked for the ballet version because sometimes theater is sometimes there are some shows that are like really, really heavily pirated, and then there are some shows that are not. So it's kind of a gamble.
Hmm.
But I was like, well,
Yeah.
Frankenstein's very popular, so maybe this is one that's been pirated, and it is not. So I watched some clips of the Frankenstein ballet. That was all I could find. And then maybe
Yay.
Frankenstein ballet.
Really liked the clip that I saw.
Yeah.
Really liked it a whole lot. I like it when they do ballets of things. I don't know if I would have I've never watched a ballet. I like
Mhm.
watching clips of ballet. Like I heard someone say once that they should do a ballet of the Hunger Games, and I think that would kick ass. I think that would be really
Oh,
cool. Yeah, right? Yeah.
whoa, that could be really
Like
interesting.
right? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. Many people are saying this.
At least two. At least
The
two, because it's you, me, and whoever you said who saw
other
that.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that would be really, really cool. But the thought of sitting down to watch a full ballet,
Mhm.
it
Sometimes they're long.
just sometimes they're really long. Yeah, but every
Yeah.
time I watch a clip, especially if it's a cool one like Frankenstein,
Mhm.
I'm like, they're making some choices.
Ah,
Yeah,
interesting.
right? Yeah, they're expressing themselves through dance.
I
Fascinating.
see. When you go to the ballet, they're telling a story, but using physicality instead of words. How interesting. If anybody out there knows, if anybody out there has a Google Drive of the full Frankenstein Ballet, please send that to our email, saintwomenem@gmail.com, and then I will watch it. But the clips are cool. The clips I've seen before, which is why I wanted to watch the whole thing, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And then I watched those
I
two movies, but that's it. No, I watched The Bride. I watched
yeah.
three movies.
And I think it's important to note that neither of us watched the original Frankenstein movie from like
Right.
1,000 years ago.
I kind of assumed that one of us would have. But we got to today and it hadn't happened. So,
Yeah. Oh well. I like
oh
I feel like
well.
we watched Young Frankenstein. I just imagine it less funny.
Hmm.
I feel like I've watched it.
There you go.
Yeah, easy.
Hmm.
Because it certainly is not related to the Frankenstein that we're talking about today. Like,
Right.
barely. I don't even know why it's called Frankenstein because the the main character of the movie,
Uh-huh.
not Victor, some other guy.
Yeah, it's a
Who
different
is he?
guy.
Victor's in the movie, but he's not the guy who makes a monster out of dead people.
Right,
Make
so
that
then
make
why
sense
would
for
Victor
me.
be in the movie? Like,
Yeah,
what do you mean? Because that's the guy.
that's him. He's kind of like the main part of it.
Yeah.
Like the problem, I think you could say.
You could, yeah, I think that's actually very fair.
And maybe that's kind of a meta thing of like they're removing him even further from responsibility, kind of like how he was doing to himself for the whole like story.
Hmm.
Like,
Maybe.
hmm yeah.
I really liked
Um,
seeing something that's just like kind of a weird decision and like trying my very hardest to turn it into like a really good, interesting artistic choice, you know?
yeah. I wonder how we could have done that with, do you remember the Holes movie original script? I wonder how we
Oh, the
could have
one
made that
like
work.
the weird space thing. Like, there was no reason for it to be part of that at all. That's just a completely
No,
different story.
and he removed Sigourney Weaver from the equation. He changed the warden to be a man. Crazy, first of all, but imagine like I know Sigourney Weaver wasn't
Uh-huh.
attached to the project, but like couldn't he sense her? Like couldn't he
Right. Can't you like you can like
remember
read
her?
a good story and be like, now I know Sigourney Weaver's going to be in this. Right?
Like
Yeah.
how the original filmmaker for the movie Stardust when he was adapting the movie from the novel that no one knows who the author is, he was like, I'm envisioning Robert De
The
Niro.
anonymous like cave script novel of Stardust, yeah.
Yeah, that was etched on a hieroglyph.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, Robert De Niro, Michelle
Mhm.
Pfeiffer. Is that? Yeah, that's Claire Danes and Charlie Cox. Uh-huh. Yeah.
They're beautiful minding these these actors to come in. And De Niro, what a pull. Because it doesn't
Yeah.
seem like his type of movie.
No. We had discussed it at the time, but it seems like it should have gone to Robin Williams.
It
But
seems like a
no, the
Robin Williams
filmmaker,
role.
he knew better. He knew better than
Yeah.
all of us.
He predicted this is a Robin Williams role. I'm gonna, subvert expectations here with a little Rob De Niro instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know Robert De Niro is like an amazing actor. I know that. But even
Yeah.
sometimes, still, I'm like, he did a good job. Killed that.
Hey.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's a good movie. Not the one we're talking about today.
No, but just so you guys know,
Today we're talking about science,
yes,
trauma,
trauma.
trauma, poor baby Elizabeth,
Hmm. And this is good that you're questioning it because it was a question. The
monster.
real monster?
I was thinking murder and motherhood, murder and
Yay!
motherhood. I know it's not that.
I
Leave
know.
me
Stop! We've already done those ones.
alone.
Stop!
We've done murder so many times.
Murder and motherhood are like our go-to M's.
It's just that they're applicable.
They're
We're
often,
always talking
yeah,
about those things. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're talking about all the Frankensteins today. Every single one of them, except for the
Except for
movie.
the, except for some of them that we have not
Yeah.
watched.
Yep. The ones that we didn't bother to get to.
Yeah, the one called
Yep.
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I didn't watch that.
No.
I think we should do this again sometime with the Draculas. I think that would be fun.
That would be awesome. That would be really cool. I already know
But
which
it
one's
has
going to
to
be
be
my
in a
least
couple months.
favorite.
Yeah.
So we have
Yeah.
time.
And it has to be in a couple months so that we have time to watch enough of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we've been planning to do this for like a long time, and even still, we didn't get to.
We still didn't do them. The thing is, there's so many movies to watch and only so many hours of my life.
Mhm. Yeah, which is unfortunate. I
Yeah.
think if God were really all powerful, he would have made it so that you can pause the normal hours of your life to watch movies.
And movie time
Just
doesn't count as like your time of your day. It's separate.
no, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just
Just
something
like
that I
how
would do if I were God. Maybe I'm
hmm
better.
hmm,
Maybe I could improve mankind. Something that I've told you before is that this is one of my favorite books of all time. I read it at 17 in high school.
Mhm.
Life-changing experience with my high school lit teacher, AP lit teacher, Mrs. Landis. Shout out to you.
Hi, Mrs.
She's the
Landis.
coolest. Hi, Mrs. Landis. I love you. She's the coolest lady who's ever lived. I love her so much. I feel like I had more in-depth, like analytical discussions in that class than probably any of my college level classes. I love this book because she loved this book. And so no, that's all I wanted to say.
Okay, just shout out to Mrs. Landis. Goodbye, everybody.
Because it's one of my favorites, I think it's just such a shame that there hasn't been like an actual adaptation of it.
hmm It
It's
seems it's
such an
all
amazing
like
story.
interpretations, it's all inspired bys,
Yeah.
but not just like you watch Frankenstein, the movie.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I looked up once. I was like, is there any adaptation out there that is like what's the closest adaptation to the actual novel? And the first result was Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the
hmm
the movie.
Yeah.
I was like,
Which
no,
is
it's
known for
not.
being like a fun, campy time instead
Yeah.
of having to be a faithful book adaptation. Yeah.
It has almost nothing to do with this story. Again,
Yeah.
a creature is created from dead bodies, and that's pretty much where the similarity begins and ends.
Right.
It's not similar at all. It's much like Del Toro's Frankenstein, which we'll get into a little bit later. It's a really fun, inspired by. Is it a classic
Yeah.
film? Absolutely. I'm not trying to say it's not like its own worthy piece of art because it was inspired by Frankenstein and it's not actually Frankenstein.
Right,
Just
right.
like the same way
It can
that I
still
think
be worth
Ella
watching. It's just a
Enchanted.
different thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, Ella
It's
Enchanted
an
is a
Ella
good,
Enchanted.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I
I wrote
guess
down.
it's down to us to make the faithful Frankenstein adaptation. That's why I'm excited for Dracula too, because I haven't watched a ton of
Dracula 2.
Dracula 2. He's back, and this time he's mad. Just because I like that's a book that I really love, and I haven't really seen a ton of like Dracula movies, but I imagine that it's probably the same thing. It's like we're doing a vampire movie, which is great, but are we doing like a Dracula movie? Because Dracula is about womanhood actually, and there's a cowboy in it. So like, give me something here. Generally, I think it would seem, based on our individual tastes, that Dracula would be your book and Frankenstein would be my book. But
Yeah.
I really like that it's opposite. Because you really like vampires and cannibalism and stuff, and you
Yeah, I do.
really don't like zombies. And I feel like
No.
Frankenstein is close to a zombie thing where it's like a reanimated whatever. But I like that it's opposite. I think that's so neat.
That's just that's just neat of us. We're just cute.
Yeah. Mhm.
It is funny, and that goes in line with something that I always say about writing a good, strong character, is you have to have
Mhm.
at least one trait that's like completely opposite, like
Right.
antithetical to their entire personality. Like how Ron Swanson in Parks and Rec is a killer like saxophonist
Yeah.
and like a sexy jazz musician in the town.
And he
That
has like
makes
a
no
stage name.
sense. Yeah.
Like he's going to a jazz club. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And you wouldn't think it.
Hmm. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, that's true, but it really
I like that.
works.
Yeah. Hmm.
So Frankenstein is Whitney's jazz club.
New title of the video. Yeah. That is kind of fun. And there's cowboys in Dracula, which is again, that's another thing. I mean, that's a
We're
shared
always
interest of
missing.
ours.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it is a shared
it's like
interest
the
of ours,
boat.
and it's so sad that it's
Yeah,
missing.
and
Why are you
that's the
even
thing.
making, like, why are you making the movie then?
Exactly. Like there's so I'm not saying that the thing you made wasn't great, but there's so much good material in the original. When is someone
hmm
gonna do that justice? When is someone gonna include the cowboy? Del Toro finally included the boat. No one ever includes
No
the
one ever
boat
includes the
narrative.
boat.
And he actually did that. I was thrilled with that. Yeah, there were a lot
hmm
of things in the rest of the story that I was like, Who knows where that came from? But the boat, that was
Right. The
strong.
boat was good. And I like that it's like they built a boat.
They built a boat, yeah, a physical one on the ice.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually on the ice. They didn't do it on the ice, but they made a boat
No, that would
and
be
they made
too
it
too
rock.
dangerous. But they made a boat. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah. I made going into this, I was like, what would a good adaptation need to have? And I
Mhm,
figured I would list the essential Victor traits, the
mhm.
essential creature traits, and then everything else would kind of fall into place. That's kind of what I've done here is I've made a list of their two things, their two deals,
Mhm.
and then I have some notes on the movie, Del Toro's movie, The Bride, Young Frankenstein, and there's a musical that
Yes.
that by the way, I'll say right out the gate, that is the most accurate adaptation. It's
Oh, I'm sure.
incredible.
Yeah.
It's a like, dude,
I believe it
yeah.
immediately.
Why
Yeah.
is it so hard for everyone else to get it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Let's spin it in a positive, artful way. That's just the power of theater. Theater just like
yeah,
has an understanding of literature that's different from the understanding that film has of literature. And so maybe they're a little bit closer or something. We can say that. And then it becomes
yeah,
pro
and we
theater
will.
instead of anti everybody else doing Frankenstein stories.
It's true. Because we're
Hmm.
not haters, we're lovers.
Yay!
The first thing that I'll say about Victor Frankenstein is I hate him more than I hate any other fictional character who's ever been created, ever.
Yeah.
I loathe this man, and I think it's incredible that Mary Shelley created someone who is so utterly loathsome to me in every respect. It's
Yeah.
amazing. She didn't even know that
Right.
I had this
She's
list
like,
in my
I'm
head.
gonna write a contemptible guy just for Whitney. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. I don't know how he has this. I actually I drew it out. It's this
Hmm.
perfect Venn diagram that has the tiniest little intersection between the three circles. And the three circles are ego, self-loathing, and lack of accountability. How can you be so
Hmm.
full of yourself, so full of your own ego, and yet you hate yourself so much, and yet you don't hate yourself for any of the right things? None of the things that you
Right.
hate yourself for are the correct reasons that you should be hating yourself for.
Right. It's not like, oh, I have remorse over this bad thing that I did. It's just like unrelated.
It's astounding. It really is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this man, I think the
Especially like
main
with the ego too, it's like you'd think you would
Mhm.
want to take credit for these behaviors and actions, but then he like doesn't want to take credit for anything, even though he did them on purpose, pridefully.
Yeah.
But then he
No, it's
also is not,
destiny's fault. It's fate.
it's
It's just
fate.
circumstance.
Ah, God cursed me.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's just so sad for him.
It's funny because I have an annotated my copy from high school, and looking through it on almost every single page is just me. Like I've written in like Victor, you're a bitch.
Victor sucks. Graffiti all over your book.
Ooh. Like everything he says made me roll my eyes and say, "Oh,
Mhm.
I bet, I bet
I bet.
he's a treat for
Yeah.
sure." I don't know. Maybe we should start with Del Toro's Frankenstein. First of all, because you've seen it most recently,
Yes.
and then it would be a good jumping off point into what I think. I don't want to say a good adaptation will be, but a good adaptation, a correct adaptation.
Yeah, right, right, right.
Hmm.
Our
Yeah.
adaptation.
Yeah.
We're setting out our plans now, and if anybody uses these ideas, it's because they watched this video and they stole from us, and we need to be paid for our work. Okay, let me pull up. I feel like we were doing a little text back and forth about Del Toro Frankenstein, so I just want to see if we said anything worth saying again there. And we can start there. For one thing, Del Toro Frankenstein, I think that he's kind of known for being like a very emotional, cheesy director. Um, so I was not like hugely surprised by this, but it's still like a little bit, you're like, okay, man, come on. You know, he has a couple cheesy lines, including William telling Victor, "You're the real monster," and Victor's like, "Oh no," and then leaves and still has to hunt down the creature for like another 45 minutes. Huh? And then also later, for some reason, the creature comes to the boat and tells the story, and Victor's there, and he's like, "Please forgive me, my boy." And it seems a little bit out of left field, but the creature's like, "Okay." Anyway, he also has a line of like, "Maybe now we can both be human," and Victor's going to die in 4 minutes. And like, I'm like, what do you mean? Maybe now you can both be human. Like, I understand the idea that like humanity is more than just like your physical construction. It has to do with like having a soul or whatever.
Hmm.
I don't feel that the creature was necessarily without a soul just because he was constructed differently. I think that's like a philosophical question that comes up a lot in the text or like in conversations about Frankenstein. You could kind of go either way about it depends what you think about the mind body problem, whatever, 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 right? I don't know. I don't know if like being forgiven by somebody else is what is going to give Victor like the humanity that he's lacking.
Yeah, he he didn't
Because
earn
he didn't even do anything.
and
He didn't change. He didn't take
exactly.
accountability. He didn't forgive anything or do anything that like would have actually earned forgiveness.
No,
So what do you
nothing at
mean?
all.
Maybe now we can both be human. When the whole time the creature's been more human than Victor, who's the real monster. We already knew that.
And
He
Victor
didn't have
didn't
to.
do anything to earn his own humanity either. Right up until the
Right.
very last second, he was planning to murder the creature. He bought the
Yeah.
dynamite. He was fighting with him out on the ice. You're telling me in the time that it took for him to tell the story that he
His
was like,
heart changed.
oh, his heart grew 3 sizes that day? I don't think so. That guy was born
Mhm.
without one. What?
Because his like yeah, his heart would have grown 3 sizes at any other point. And even like you see him earlier, I when he first like it first works and he meets the creature and he can't speak and he's like teaching him like you would a little child. It's almost this like heartfelt moment of like, oh, he can because it's different from in a lot of other versions of the story, he freaks out really quickly. He's like, oh, it
Mhm.
worked. Oh, and then has to like reckon with what he's done instead of having done that during the process because he's so caught up in the process that he doesn't realize that they're the negative consequences until he's immediately confronted with them and then he runs away, of course. But so in the movie was different, which I thought was interesting, but he like has this moment he like takes care of him and like
Mhm.
tries to teach him language and tries to teach him what things are until he gets annoyed. Like, what do you mean? So it's almost like he's trying to go back to his roots of like that first couple days of joy at this like new creation that he has. But you don't even really respect that because it doesn't seem like it lasted very long. He just got impatient with like this brand new person not catching on quickly enough for his standards. If it had
Yeah.
been a baby, do you think he would have been like, well, this is normal development? But because he made him into a like fully formed man first? Do you think that was the problem? Like
Yes, I do.
he's
And
like, you
that's
should know this. You're a grown up. And he's like, I'm a 4 day old grown up. Like, no. That's not what that is.
and I
Yeah.
do appreciate that it does kind of offer a little bit of an insight into what maybe would have happened if in the original text he had stayed and parented the creature, who
Right.
I've always called this is what we did in my high school class is we called him Adam because that's the role that
I
he takes. We've always
yeah,
called him
yeah.
Adam. But it's something that had never occurred to me until I watched The Bride. They call him Frank in that movie.
Yeah.
I like that a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Because
Yeah.
I sometimes think
So
of him as Adam, but then I don't want to be like just bestowing him a name
Yeah.
necessarily, even though there's
Yeah.
like moments, and in this film he like reads he's with the old man and he like learns how to read from like Bible stories.
Mhm.
And so you can see like the connection that he has to Adam as a name, but he never like claims it, so you don't really know. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's why I like the
Adam
idea of
slash
Frank,
Frank,
because it's like
really good.
taking Victor's thing away from him and changing it. It's my own thing now.
It's
Of
mine now.
yours.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
yours, old man. And that's great.
Yeah,
So the creature, Adam, Frank, yep. Same guy.
all the same
Um,
guy. Don't get
yeah.
confused. That's all the same guy.
And the Del Toro's, I do feel I want the thing is, okay, I wanted so badly to like this movie. So badly. Because
Hmm.
real sets, the costume design, Mia Goth, Oscar
Oscar
Isaac,
Isaac,
even Jacob Elordi, who I don't know why, but I went into this movie expecting to hate.
because he
Why do
plays
I
White Heathcliff. You're predisposed to
it?
not like it.
That's I already
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had deleted that one from my brain. Yeah. Okay, so that explains that because I was like, oh, Jacob Elordi, a man I've never heard of before. Yeah.
Boo. Yeah. He's doing a lot of like classical literature remakes recently in his career,
hmm
and I don't know why.
And Euphoria.
Euphoria. Everybody's Zendaya's in Euphoria. It's like I don't
Yeah.
know. I can't pretend to understand why that show exists at all.
No, it's fascinating. Not something I ever plan to watch ever. People ask
Ever,
me all the
right?
time. They're like, "Are you gonna like? Are you?" No, I'm not. No.
Well, for
Mm-mm.
one thing, it's gone on too long. Like I'm gonna
hmm
start it and then be like 5 seasons behind everybody else.
hmm
No. And also, no, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah. Let
I'm
me
not
get down to
going
the nub
to.
of the matter.
Yeah.
Don't wanna.
No,
What are you
I'm
gonna
not.
do
I
with
don't
that?
want to. I'm not gonna.
To get back to my original point, if
If
you're
you're
traveling
traveling
abroad
abroad
this
this
summer,
summer,
I don't know how much mileage they got out of that joke, but we get like
we get a lot. We
a
get quite a
lot.
lot. Yeah.
Um, I think the the problem with Frankenstein as a story is because it takes place over such a long period of time that it's hard to do like decent character development and like progression just in general. And I think that was my main problem with Del Toro's Frankenstein is because it did just feel rushed. Victor especially felt like he just didn't make a lot of sense
Mhm.
for the reasons that you're already explained. Is he started out proud and paternal and almost immediately switched to abusive
Impatient.
dickwad
Yeah.
and then sunk all of the time and investment and money just to get rid of the guy like on a dime.
Right.
And then again at the end flipped on another dime. Now we're at 20 cents and just like flip back and forth without any real progression in between. Like
Right.
he didn't
It
he
just really comes out of nowhere. A lot
it
of his
does.
decisions are like, huh?
A lot of my almost everything that happened in the movie, I felt like it was the opposite from the original text. And
Mhm.
I texted this to you as well, but I was like, I am having such a hard time because I really want to like the movie and I really think there's value there. I just have a hard time separating Frankenstein from it, you know? So
Right.
the whole time I was like, well, maybe this makes sense in the universe of this movie that is created. Um, but I just see, well, no, Victor had a wonderful home life. He had two
Yeah.
parents who loved him so dearly. He never had any one single bad thing happen to him up until he was like a grown man ready to leave for college. And then his
Right.
mother died so peacefully, at like resting, saying, hey, I'm ready to go. I'm okay. I want you guys to
Yeah.
have a happy life. Ugh.
And good for her. And also, don't you feel like that would kind of maybe add to why his character doesn't know how to deal with hardship? if he never really had to go through anything because he had such a supportive home life.
Yeah.
Something to
And
think
it's a really
about.
good contrast to Adam, who had
Yeah.
absolutely nothing. And the only thing that he wanted throughout his like childhood, I guess you could say, is
Hmm.
just kindness and companionship. The one thing
Yeah.
that Victor had in abundance and took for granted. So the whole time I'm watching Del Toro's Frankenstein, I'm like, well, he didn't have an abusive father. He had a wonderful father. He had a wonderful I he didn't have any help when he was building the creature. He didn't have a sponsor. He did it himself,
Yeah.
a broke college student in his dorm room, basically.
Yeah.
He didn't need to have a big guy come in and say, well, here's all of the money in the world that you
Yeah.
get to do
And here's
anything.
like a bunch of guys that are in on it. Like they make deals with like the like prison guards who are sending people to be executed, and they make deals with like that doesn't he's supposed to be keeping it a secret.
Exactly. Exactly. He's so ashamed of it. And that's the big reason why it's such a conflict later in the movie is because he didn't tell anybody. Not even his closest friends or family. He didn't want anybody to know because he's so deeply ashamed of it. And maybe if he had utilized the community around him, we wouldn't be in any of these situations. And
Hmm.
that's the main point about Frankenstein is that it is a tragedy, but it's not the ones where, oh, this is inevitable. This was always going to happen this way. It's the kind of tragedy that it didn't have to happen this way. Almost
Hmm.
every single choice was the wrong one, and it led to the tragedy. It wasn't inevitable. It could have been avoided, but there are
Yeah.
so many things that Victor does that lead to this. And I that was one thing that I liked about the Del Toro's movie is that he is shown to be so like he doesn't care about human life. He's using it for his creature. And I like
Yeah.
that aspect of it. And the musical did something similar where the man who later plays the creature is being hanged at the gallows and Victor
Hmm.
claims his body to use as the basis for his experiment. And I liked that because in the song that's all he's focusing on. He's like, I can fix this. Not that
Right.
he could save a life, the one that's currently alive. It's
Right.
I'm gonna
He can
let him
re
die
remake it.
and remake it.
Hmm.
Exactly. And so I kind of
Yeah.
liked that carelessness that was shown a little bit, but it is weird because it's like this is an expansive network. And Williams in on it?
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a baby.
Yeah.
That's another whole point of it is that William is a child, innocent and full of potential,
Yeah.
not a grown adult ready to
Almost
get
like
married.
almost like
Almost
Adam, you could say.
possibly.
Yeah, it's like, you know how we talked about this with Jurassic Park as well. I understand that when you're making a book into a movie is much shorter and has a different language. So you have to communicate things differently, and maybe you put greater emphasis on some themes and you remove some themes that are not strictly necessary or that won't fit into the narrative of the movie, right? But when you read the book of Jurassic Park, it's clearly, first of all, about like indigenous land rights, which isn't really talked about in the movie, but it's like a really interesting perspective. And it's also about like parenthood, which I feel like comes through in the movie more. But in the book, you're like, oh my gosh. And I just feel like it's the same thing. Like Frankenstein, a lot of it, you're like, oh, this is like kind of about parenthood and like, how do I take responsibility for the decisions that I make? How do I like come from, especially he's coming from this great community. He's obviously been parented well. How do I take that into my life going forward? How do I treat William, who's a little child? How do I treat Adam, who's a person that I created on purpose and am now repulsed by my actions because I was too secretive about it. I can't tell anybody that I did this. And has science gone too far? Yes. And what do I do? But he doesn't think about the consequences until after. But if he was a person who was deciding to become a parent, like with a partner who was in on it with him, they would have the conversation before, you'd think. This is like a big part of parenting is like, well, how am I going to this is a huge responsibility of creating a life. And like, what am I going to do even when it's overwhelming and it's too much? And this is like a whole person that I'm responsible for. You have to think about it and plan for it before it happens. But he gets it all backward because he isolates himself from what he knows of parenthood and community for the sake of keeping it like almost like not getting in trouble for it. He has this like
Yeah,
shameful secret that he doesn't necessarily have to have.
he
Maybe
wants
he's
all the
gay.
credit with none of the blame.
A lot of movies and books
Maybe
are
he's gay.
about people who are secretly gay. And if they're like harboring this
Oh my gosh.
terrible thing that's twisting them up inside and they have to keep it secret and they can't tell anybody,
Hang on.
what do
I
we think
There was
about
a
that?
line I read in the book earlier that made me laugh. Hold on, I'll pull it up. Where did I put it? It made me chuckle.
While you're looking, I don't know if you can see on your screen because it's small, but I have a big old lump on my head that's a huge mosquito bite.
A mosquito bite on your foot.
No.
I think you might just have to end it all, if I'm being honest with you.
Oh, no, I didn't want
Hmm.
to.
I know, but what else are you gonna do? Live with a
Yeah, it's
mosquito
a
bite
really
on
good
your
point.
forehead?
Yeah, it's a really, really good point.
Got it. Okay. Um, to me, the idea of an immediate union with my Elizabeth was one of horror and dismay. And in the margin, I wrote gay, LOL.
Yeah. Yeah. Why are you so
Yeah.
afraid of this relationship with a woman, but you want to create the world's most beautiful man for yourself in
Hmm.
secret?
Interesting. And that actually
Interesting.
is one of the things that I've written for when we make our Frankenstein, how it's going to be perfect. It
Mhm.
needs a real love triangle. I mean, like an actual one.
He's like gonna be gay.
Victor, Henry, Clerval, and Elizabeth. They've
Hmm.
all got like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, all three
For
of them.
sure, right?
Hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. No one, no one ever includes Henry either. He's a big part of
No,
it.
that's true.
Hmm.
And he's a big part of it. And it's again like you can't keep everything because otherwise you're making like a 17-hour long movie. I
Yeah.
understand that. There are other things you have to emphasize. But isn't it sad that you keep forgetting him? It's like forgetting the cowboy and Dracula. He's there.
Exactly.
He's one of the main
He
guys.
has
It's
a
important
six
that
shooter.
he's there.
It's just that people shouldn't be allowed to make movies until we sign off on them.
I know. I know.
Yeah. The other thing that I was thinking about with Del Toro's Frankenstein is that Victor loses his leg in the explosion at the lab. And I did not like that because I feel like the
Mhm.
whole point of this one is that Victor makes it through unscathed. Nothing
He's
happens to that
fine.
guy.
He's annoyingly fine the whole time.
Yeah.
And if
The
it's gonna
only
be a
illness
story
he
about,
suffers is his own. When he's
Mhm.
like, oh no, I did a bad thing. Oh, and he passes out for 3 full months.
all the time he's doing this.
This
And
movie
if it's gonna
sucks
be a
so
story
bad.
about disability, don't you feel that Frankenstein, the creature, some would call him Frank, some would call him Adam, is a better character to represent disability? When I read this book, I was like, oh, clearly, clearly, right? Like the main thing that stuck out to me about his character was like, oh, this is an allegory for like chronic illness, for sure, right? So I thought it was like
How
I
about that?
I I like seeing more disabled characters on screen. Like overall, I think that's a good thing. But it
Hmm.
doesn't really make sense for Victor because then it's like he has to actually face the consequences of his actions, which he didn't
Yeah.
do until the final. So like you have to change that. Either he doesn't lose his leg or he faces his consequences and realizes what he's done a lot sooner in the story.
Yeah.
Like
That's
you have to
also
pick
why
one.
Victor never actually draws any blood. He doesn't kill Elizabeth.
Right.
He doesn't kill, like, it's all of these things by proxy. That's the point. He
Yeah.
doesn't himself do anything, but he carries the guilt and the weight of all of these things that happen because it's his fault directly
Hmm.
as a result of his inaction and also actions.
Yeah.
Both of those
Whether
things
he's
somehow
whether he's
combined.
choosing action or inaction, he's making the wrong decision every time.
Yeah,
But if you're gonna
yes.
have a character who represents disability, obviously it's Adam.
Have it be the one who's cobbled together with a bunch of random parts, right?
Right.
The one who people treat differently.
Because of his haggard appearance and his body is like bit like he sticks out from other people because he looks different from other people.
And it
And
functions
the person that
differently.
he really bonds with is a blind man. Right.
Okay, write that down. I'm writing it down. I have a list.
The obvious disability allegory, Adam column. Obviously gay, Victor column.
This Victor and the Del Toro's Victor, I feel like has, and this is another thing I texted you, he has a lot of very obvious, like, that guy has some weird, like, sexual stuff going on, right? Like,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
so.
He has a lot
And
of weird,
maybe you can chalk
obvious
that up to
ones.
like, well, it's a Del Toro film, you know?
Yeah. And it is because there's incest in it.
Yeah.
Like, what's that? What's like, dude, you don't have to keep doing. I've seen three of his
Right.
movies and they've all had some kind of incest plotline.
Which is like, if he's doing gothic horror, that's commonly a part of it. But if you're doing
Hmm.
a gothic horror where that isn't part of it, you don't have to add it in. You could focus on
It's
something
not,
else.
we could. I mean, there's like hints of it in here, and maybe it's more prevalent than I've realized. I've never done an incest reading of Frankenstein, and that's a sentence I've never said. Like, but there are hints of it. Like he's very attached to his mother, and he is very attached to Elizabeth. But the difference between this Victor and the Del Toro's Victor is that guy. This guy doesn't see women as people. He sees them as
Right.
objects. And I
Right.
think Del Toro's Victor does the same thing, but in an opposite way, where he's like, they're less than me. And
Yeah.
this guy, he like deifies women. His mother and Elizabeth are both so like divine, transcendent. They're exalted in his mind. He doesn't see them as people because like he sees them as the angels as a gift from God, as God themselves. And this is part of the thing too. It ties in with parenthood, motherhood, divinity, because Victor wants to be God. He wants to be a creator, and that's the role. Women can play that role here, and he sees that and recognizes it. But it's like he doesn't make the connection. I'm having a hard time articulating it, but do you see?
I can
Like, do
see that
you?
he's gay and he wants to be mother.
Yeah, but it's like Elizabeth is an object that's been given to him, and he doesn't want to like have a real human connection
Right.
with her, at least from his retelling, which is another fun part of the book, is that and that's something else that Del Toro did that I liked, is because it's an unreliable narrator.
Mhm.
Everything he says, you got to be like, I don't trust this guy. And frankly, if this is the version that he's choosing to tell, like,
Imagine how much
wow,
worse, right?
wow. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, really interesting. What did you
Yeah, it's
think about?
crazy.
So there's a scene he like sets the whole lab on fire, and then he's running away, and he hears the creature call out to him, and he like hesitates and is going to go back in, and then that's when he gets exploded and his leg falls off. I thought that was interesting because it's almost like this moment of him like feeling regret and feeling like, oh, maybe this is a person that I've created. But then any interaction post that and please forgive me, my son, it seems like he like forgets that he had that experience. Like he'll never sit down with the creature. The creature has learned how to speak. And they like sit down and he's like, let me talk to you, let me petition you for a companion, right? And he never once says like, I'm sorry. Like he never is like, oh, I thought I wanted to save you, but I couldn't, or and he never explains himself and he never apologizes. So it was almost like, why was that in there? What did you think about that?
It's interesting because I don't remember that.
Cool. Yeah.
But I that's another thing kind of going back to what we were talking about before. It's like, where did but like that's not connect. It's like he's 100% or 0%.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how his energy is in the book as well. It's like kind of manic, but it's like it's his it's manic energy, right? It's not
Yeah.
like attitudes. So it is
Right.
strange to have him go so
Yeah.
like back
My
and forth like that.
boy, I'm gonna kill
Yeah.
you. Right.
I don't know.
Interesting,
I'm not
interesting. We can move to a different movie if you want. I want to say briefly the costuming, we noticed that Mia Goth is always dressed like bugs because she is
She's
interested
just like
in bugs.
bugs. She likes bugs.
The only thing that I didn't like about that is I felt like the mother is his mother is wearing like these really richly colored dresses, and then so is Elizabeth, and then everybody else isn't. And I would have really liked for everybody to have these kind of like whimsical, symbolic costumes instead of like,
Yeah.
here's what people would actually wear. It's like, here's the style of what people would actually wear, but with this greater emphasis on their like character, their interests, etc.,
Yes.
or just have them all be normal. But where it was half and half, I didn't really like that. Because it
Hmm.
could have been fun, like if you're going, like we're doing this all-out Technicolor, whimsical, whatever, and Mia Goth is going to be dressed as
Hmm.
a bug, sure, and then make everybody else a little bit more colorful as well. I would have liked that.
And maybe that goes to like maybe it's another meta thing where it's showing her othering. Like she feels like she never quite fit in.
Yeah.
But
And especially with
visually,
them being like the only two women in the story, with them
hmm
standing out, maybe that's more of like the symbolism of how Victor places them in his mind compared to everybody else. Like
yeah.
there's ways to read it that work, but
hmm
I just think like generally you could have like a cohesive visual style.
I think the only scene that I really, really liked, and you could do this still by making everybody else a little bit more colorful too, was when she in her green malachite dress. She has a green malachite dress. She's walking
Yeah.
through the crowd of people, and they're all wearing black, and you can kind of see her like through the crowd. I liked that. But again, you could
Hmm.
do that, but still dressing up like the main guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? You're telling me that Oscar Isaac Victor
Oscar Isaac is in this
would
movie.
Oscar Isaac is in this movie and he's constantly drinking milk and you didn't bother to give him like a fun little waistcoat?
Right.
Kind of a waste.
Kind of a waistcoat. Yeah.
Yeah,
But then
yeah.
Oscar Isaac has been in a lot of movies where he's kind of underused. So
And we're not going to name any specifically.
no.
No. I'll tell you what, I was really excited to see him in Dune 2. I was like, I know Oscar Isaac was in the first one. I love that guy. We're going to see Dune 2. I'm excited. Let's do this. And he died in the first one. And no one told me that. That was upsetting. So he was
Yeah.
underutilized in Dune 2.
Yeah, I'll say. He's barely even there. I'm also
Oh dear.
interested in like as his this is a completely separate this is a totally different conversational topic, but I'm interested in the fact that as he's risen to fame, he has been cast in like white roles, and I think that it's fine to take roles away from white actors and give them to brown actors. I'm very comfortable with that. I think that's fine. But it's just interesting that it's like in Dune, he's Timothy Chalamet's dad,
Mhm.
and
And that
that's a
dude's
white
so
boy.
white. Yeah. It's like how Austin Butler in that movie is the baldest person you've
The
ever seen.
baldest.
Like Timothy Chalamet is like the whitest person you've ever seen.
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah.
Like he's like how Conan is like somehow 100% Irish. Chalamet reads to me as somehow 100% French. Like he's just so French, you know?
Yeah.
And Oscar Isaac as a beautiful Hispanic man, I like that he's in like roles. He's like become an A-list actor, and I think that's
As
great
he
for him.
should be.
But it's also like it's interesting that the only like A-list roles are for white men, and he just like passes as a white man for the role. Like in this one,
Yeah.
his dad and his he talks about like, oh, our dad hated my mother and me because we had like darker complexion, and his mom is just like white brunette. I was like, what do you mean? If
Yeah.
they were like racially mixed or something, that could give a little element of something. But
If
I
we're
don't know.
already changing every other part of the story, that might as well
Right.
be another fun element to
Might
add
as well
in.
make them a Latino family. Like, why not, you
Hmm.
know?
Yeah. By the way, how long did it take you to realize that she was played by Mia Goth?
Pretty quickly. Yeah.
Okay, it took me until the credits.
Haha, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If I had known that, that probably would have added. Ah,
because of
yeah.
how he really sees his mother and Elizabeth as playing a really similar role in his life.
Yeah. And this is part of the
Yeah.
thing that I like. Del Toro just has no patience for subtlety a lot of time,
Hmm.
and I appreciate
Which
that. Like the
often works.
scene. often does,
Hmm.
where Victor is talking to Elizabeth, having a real conversation for the very first time, drinking a glass of milk.
Hmm.
You could write just chapters on chapters on
Just at that moment.
like,
Yeah.
wow, okay,
Yeah.
say
Right?
say less.
I got it. I
Okay.
get it. I get it. I get
Whoa, all right.
it.
We can talk about another movie, but I will the other thing that I wanted to say about Del Toro's is the creature. I was impressed with Jacob Elordi's performance. I liked that he had a northern accent. That was kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool.
I loved the costuming. I loved his face. I loved all the part. Like I read an article
Yeah.
about the like the costume designer, why he made all these choices. He made a bunch of like homages to different Frankensteins without like he made they made him his own Frankenstein. This doesn't look like any other Frankenstein, but it has elements of,
Hmm.
and I really liked it. I thought it was good. I
I
thought his
really like
performance
that.
was good. This is another problem that I have with his the is just is a detour from the original text is because Jacob Elordi's Frankenstein never hurts anybody. And that's a pretty big
Hmm.
departure from the text where he does.
He does.
He
I mean, he
kills
kills.
William.
Yeah.
He kills a baby boy.
Yeah.
And he does it kind of on accident, but he does do it in a fit of rage. And he does do it because he's a Frankenstein. There's just enough intent there. And from there, he goes on to kill Henry and Elizabeth and all of Victor's remaining family and friends. He does that intentionally. And I like that. I like that
Right.
because
Well, because
he,
he has this person, Victor, who creates him and then immediately regrets it and abandons him. So you think he's just going to be totally well adjusted from here on out? Like you understand that it's like not his nature to be monstrous, except that he has to be that way because that's his only Victor's like his only example of a person, basically, you know?
and
So
we
it's like
see
he doesn't
throughout
create a
his
monster,
narrative,
he creates
yeah,
a person and turns him into a monster because of his action slash inaction. And so it matters that
yes,
Adam is this like is not this like perfectly innocent baby lamb all the time. He has to change
yes,
because he's adapting to the world in which he lives, which is harsh and violent
to him.
to him.
Yeah, it's time and time again, he tries to reach out with kindness to get some measure of understanding, some level of compassion, and time
Mhm.
again, he's
It
faced
fails him.
with yes, he's right before he meets William in the forest, he saves a little girl from drowning, and the her companion shoots him as a reward. Like
Mhm.
that, and this is his final breaking point after years of his life just trying to get anything from others. And he just, like 3 years, 3 years of this. This is the first act of real violence that he commits. And it's kind of an accident. After
Mhm.
3 years of people being mean to me all the time, do you know, do you know how quick I'd snap? And I had good parents.
Right.
And that's a big part of the book too, is nature versus nurture, and Victor is so focused on his nature. That's he says this all the time. My
Mhm.
nature determined that I would do this. My nature determined that I would be fixated on this forever. No,
Right.
you chose that, you dumb ass. You
Mhm.
chose these things. Your nature is not some immutable thing that you cannot change ever. These are choices that you're making. And that's something that the creature realizes and talks about all the time, is that he chooses these things. He
Yeah.
chose to kill every person that he did after William. He regrets it and he hated it, but he chose it.
Yeah.
He had no inherent nature. He was just clay to be molded. And it just so happened that he was lucky enough to come across a kind family and had that, like, kind of nurtured that inherent goodness in him. It's not that he was born a monster, like you said. You made him into one. through your action slash inactions.
Really good story. Hopefully somebody makes a movie of it someday.
Mary Shelley, I'm so sorry. No one understands you. I do, though. I get it.
Mhm.
We get it.
We get
It's
it.
about
Don't
motherhood and
worry,
disability.
Mary, we got you. It's about motherhood and disability. And also, it kind of is because her mom was
Yes.
like one of the founders of the feminist movement
Uh-huh.
who died in childbirth to her.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of like maybe these themes would come
It
up in
kind
her
of like
life.
it
Like maybe it would
literally
be
is.
important. Maybe it would be like important for her to understand like what it's like in motherhood without having had a mother because she died, because she was ill. Think about
Mhm.
these things. Okay, one more thing about the Del Toro one before we move on. Why was the final quote from Lord Byron instead of Mary Shelley?
That felt rude.
I
That
was
was
like,
like that felt intentional, right?
that one felt like you can play around in this space, you can sandbox these characters as much as you want. At the end of the day, though, you're saying that it's inspired by Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. So like, where's her hand in any of this?
Lord Byron just happened to be there when she wrote it. Okay?
Hmm. Yeah. And a lot of people were. This is a very famous snowstorm that
Yup.
like huge works of like literature and philosophy unrelated to each other happen to be made at the same time because of this weather event.
Hmm.
Like you could have just quoted somebody else who wasn't even there and just be like, it was at the same time.
Yeah. Just a lot of weird choices. A lot of
Mhm.
weird choices. Some good ones, some bad ones. A lot of weird ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, there are, and I hope this is controversial. I
Okay.
almost think that The Bride was a better adaptation of Frankenstein than Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
That is controversial and good for you for saying it. And I hopefully we
Thank
get a
you.
thousand comments.
Yep, I'm ready to go to war in the comments. I was not ready to go to war the last time that we had discourse on this channel. I actively avoided
Yeah.
it. This time,
Mhm.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
If you have something to say about Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, talk to me about it. And that's a threat.
First. Don't even go to other
But
sources.
like
Come here first.
we are the primary source. Like Christian Bale, actor of all time, I think we can all agree.
Yeah.
Um Frankenstein performance of all time. I
I
think
really
that
like
dude
his
gets it.
Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole time I was like, I know this is barely. The whole time I was like, I barely expect it to be a Frankenstein movie. I,
Hmm.
I kind of went into that one expecting what I got from Del Toro's Frankenstein, which is like, this is
Right.
kind of like it. But the whole time I was like, that's that's Adam.
Hmm.
That's him. I could see everything that happened in the book to that like that guy.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And the emphasis on solitude, on loneliness. That is his whole main driving force, and it always has been from the beginning. That's all he ever wanted was just a friend, a companion. Like,
Yeah.
okay, sorry, one more thing about the Del Toro one that I thought was funny when Oscar Isaac said, when Jacob Elordi was like, please, can you make me a friend? And Oscar Isaac was like, you want a wife? You want a woman to fill up her belly with your seed? You're disgusting. And it's like, okay, what lots to say about this. First of all, you're
Mhm.
making her so you could just, if you're really worried about Frankenstein babies, you could just make it be not that way. But also, what the
Right.
hell? Where did all that come from?
Like you were saying, he doesn't really see women as people so much in this one.
Hmm.
So it's like, oh,
Yep.
woman equals baby making machine. And also he's gay. We can't
Yeah.
forget that.
As
He's
we
like,
all
ew,
know.
you want a woman? What, to sleep with her? Like some kind of sicko? That's unnatural. So maybe
Yeah.
there's something there.
So yeah, The Bride.
Yes.
I still don't know if it's a good movie. I can't see past the I liked it.
Right.
I did. I thoroughly enjoyed almost everything about it. I liked that Mary Shelley was present throughout, even though in this world she kind of like she didn't exist. Frankenstein was a real scientist. So what's she haunting this narrative? But it's like she's so present that she becomes real in her own world. And
Right.
that's like just a reading of it. That's not, you know, that wasn't explicitly stated in the movie.
Right.
Uh, it was just kind of a weird choice that I liked. I thought it was kind of fun. I liked that she was played by, um, and
Jessie Buckley?
Jessie Buckley. Thank you. Um,
She's cool. She like kind of came out of nowhere last year and
yeah,
was suddenly in every movie, but it was kind of a good choice.
yeah, and it was a good choice in this one because she's weird in it, and I say that with the highest respect. It's a weird role, and if you're not going to be a little weird with it, then you're not allowed to do it. If you're going against Christian Bale Frankenstein, and Christian Bale's in it,
Right. You gotta have something.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So to have her be constantly haunted by the ghost of Mary Shelley and have her body possessed by it, that's weird. And
That's
she
weird
did it
because it's a
really
universe in which
well.
Mary Shelley doesn't exist, so how can you be haunted by her ghost?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think it
So
is
that,
like a lot of people maybe would disagree with it because it is very presumptive to be like, I'm Mary Shelley, and this is the story I really wanted to tell. Because I think that
yeah,
she told the story she wanted to tell
by telling the story,
by
yes.
telling the story. But if you pretend that it's like an alternate universe where Frankenstein was real and Mary Shelley wasn't, then sure, whatever.
Yeah. And the original Bride of Frankenstein movie did that same thing too, or something
Right.
similar. So like, I don't know. I don't think it's a far stretch. I don't know. I think that people who think that are stupid and dumb, and that's all.
Because they
Like,
won't
just have
just
fun
play
with
in
it
the
sometimes.
space. It's a sandbox. Just play
It's a
around.
sandbox. Yeah. And
It's
that's why I don't
okay.
want to be too critical of Del Toro's Frankenstein because he's just playing toys, and that's
Yeah.
okay. It's just not my toys that I would like to have
Right,
played with.
right, right.
Like different Lego set. But
Right.
again, Christian Bale knocked it out of the freaking park. I don't remember the name of the actress who played the mad scientist. Loved her. She
Oh,
was
I
the
liked her.
highlight. She kicked ass.
I
I
like
really,
movies
really
that
liked her.
have old women in them and still treat them as like, well-rounded characters and not
Yes.
just like, because sometimes the character is old woman.
But this lady's
It's
kind of
like
crazy.
she's kind of crazy and she
Yeah.
gets to be character instead of woman. So that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, she does. She has personality and she has well, she's got a lot of personality.
She has
But she's got
personality.
motive.
She has
And
outfits as well.
oh boy, does she?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really good. I liked about the movie that it kind of tangles with the original, like the in the original text, the reason that Victor didn't want to he didn't want to create another monster. He didn't want to create a bride for Frankenstein because he didn't want to unleash another monster into the world, even though we've already established all of the things that happened as a result of the monster being created
Hmm.
were a direct result of bad parenting, and maybe we could just avoid that thing. But also, is it maybe kind of selfish to ask this horrible thing that happened to you that you didn't ask for to happen to another human person?
Hmm.
And it
Could
kind of
be. Yeah.
touches on that a little bit in the movie of like, I didn't ask for any of this. I didn't want this, but then she gets to choose it. My number one favorite thing in the movie is the scene where after Frank attacks the guy in the alley and he's like, I'm not safe to be around. This is always going to happen to me. You should go far away from me. And he goes to get his stuff, and Jessie Buckley is still there, waiting on the car. And he's like, "What are you still doing here? Go!" And she's, "I don't know where I live." And that's all she says. And he's like, "Okay." And he takes her with him. And do you see that the difference here? And this is the thing that I could see that happened to this character, this guy. He didn't leave her behind. He was like, maybe this will be the best thing for her. Maybe this will be kind to let her do her own thing and travel her own path in the world before he remembered it's more cruel to be abandoned and to have nobody with you, nobody to help you, nobody to share company with. I loved that moment. I thought I went crazy for that. I was like, yeah.
Good job, Christian Bale and Jessie Buckley. And we're always saying that.
I have a few things to say about the musical that I really liked as well, and some things that I thought I see it. Interesting, you know? Okay, so in the book, Adam doesn't hurt anybody until William, who he murders. In the musical, they have it so Adam hugged the old blind man and killed him on accident just by hugging him because he didn't know his own strength. And I see that. I don't love it. I don't love it. I like that his first act of violence is against a Frankenstein. It wasn't a malicious act beforehand, but it did kind of spark everything else. You know that it's connected to Victor. Victor has nothing to do with Old Man DeLacy. It's unrelated. So I liked that, or Adam's kind of fall is as a result of taking life directly tied into Victor's. Like it's connecting everybody. It's the inciting incident. It's what everything circles around. Not the creation. It's this. So I thought that was an interesting choice. And that's also how he kills Elizabeth later. They have a kind of fun little interaction, and I did like this. Elizabeth takes a moment to say, if you don't hurt me, I will make sure that you are treated justly. Let me help you. That's what she says. Those are her exact words. And I like that because we don't see Elizabeth and Adam interact at all in the novel. And I think if Elizabeth is as kind as Victor seems to think she is, that's exactly how it would have happened. That I do like. I like that in the musical, Adam kills Elizabeth with an embrace. That's pretty good. And in ours, we're going to do that too. We're just going to copy paste that. I think that's great. One thing that I absolutely love that I go crazy for in the musical is the song but breaking up Act 1 and 2 is Justine's murder trial and her conviction. And it's kind of interlaced um with Adam requesting that Victor make him a bride. And this is something that you can do with musicals that you can't really it's just such a cool medium because these stories are just told on top of each other so neatly and they weave together so beautifully and it's such a elegant way to compress all of this down, really good. I like that. But
Hmm. And maybe
Victor
that's like
agreed.
when we were saying that's the strength of a theater production or a musical compared to other film, because it's built in as part of the storytelling device that a musical uses is like telling two stories at the same time. Interesting.
Now I'm thinking, yeah, I like that, but the main thing is that as Justine is being executed, Victor thinks, what does he say? What's the line? Maybe one who was lost may yet be reclaimed. In the book, Justine had been killed. She'd been dead for 3 months by the time that Victor and Adam reconnected. But in the musical, they made it seem like it was happening at the same time, harkening back to the beginning when Victor isn't focused on saving the life, he's focused on what he could do with the body afterwards. And that totally works for me because the whole time in the book, like 5 chapters leading up to Justine's death, he's like, oh man, this is horrible. She's going to be hanged. She's going to be convicted. If only there was something someone could do. And he's like, I can't tell because it would be, no one would believe me. Have you tried though?
We've tried.
Could have tried. And he, I like,
Only
he
there
doesn't
was
even have to
something that
say,
somebody else could do. Like you just have to
yeah.
read some little extra words in there.
And he has the audacity to say, Justine has no idea what I'm going through. Justine, the woman who's
Right.
going to be hanged tomorrow, she's not suffering as much as you are. What a fascinating thing to say. What an interesting claim, Victor.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. And the names in this book too. Justine, Justice, and she was
Mhm.
wrongly framed for murder,
He's like
but
wrongly
also
accused. And his name is
she's
Victor because he stays winning and yet he's the biggest loser of all time.
he's rolling nat zeros for everything across the board.
And you don't even think that's on there. You think it must start with one, right? Nope. He's got zeros.
Yes, somehow. He somehow poured every single point into the one instance where he actually created life from death, and
Right.
that it magically sucked all of the rest of the numbers out of the rest of the dice. It's incredible. But here we are.
Nobody's ever seen that before, but here we are.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Um anyway, so I really liked that. And they don't go into it as much in the musical. And again, it's hard because you do lose these things when you're trying to make fit all of this stuff. There's just so much depth in a novel that you can't communicate on the screen, and that's fine. But Justine is framed as an intentional parallel to Adam. She was abandoned by a parent. She like all of these things, and it's just so so sweet that she's the
Mhm.
one who ends up suffering as a result of the creature's actions when he's the one who is suffering as a result of Victor's actions slash inaction. Like it's just oh
But it makes
oh
the
that's good.
parallel even richer, right? Because it's like,
Yeah,
here's this thing that she's being blamed for, she's taking the fall for, that's really
yeah,
like
you
messing up her
did.
life and causing her to suffer.
Yeah,
How interesting!
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
And you can tell that Victor only studied like science and he didn't really get into math because anyone can see that the like what is it, the transitive property? Yeah. Yeah.
And he didn't get into philosophy either, right? Because he didn't think to ask what actually is a human life? And will there be any kind of like strong, unpredictable consequences to my actions if I decide to create human life from scratch?
Surely not.
No, that's a problem for later.
The
Let's see if it
fascinating
works
and
first, and then we can go back and figure out if it was right to do. Just like, as I said, Jurassic Park.
yeah,
Like, yeah, you can, but what if you
but
thought about the
should
consequences before you did it? What if we
you?
were like, oh, what if AI is going to destroy the environment and the minds of our children before rolling it out for free? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Inch resting, you might say. Henry, who I
Mhm.
love, is nature plays a huge role in the book. Everyone is inspired by nature and draws from nature, but Adam and Henry are much more similar in that they just appreciate nature for what it is and just sit and observe, whereas Victor wants to get his grubby little fingers in there and tear it apart so he can understand it. He doesn't have any reverence for it, although he claims to. And this is, I think, is the same thing that he's got with women, is he claims to
Mm. Yeah.
adore them, but then he just goes in with so much arrogance and carelessness with something so that you claim is sacred and powerful. And yet here you are, just trampling through. Um, and and I like in the musical that they make a point to incorporate Henry in a lot of different things. And the one thing that I go back and forth on is that when Victor is creating the bride, he again gets into this manic energy of I can do it and it'll work this time. And I kind of like that where he's just caught up in it again. It just happens so easily and that's not what happened in the novel, but I like that. I think that's a change I can get behind is that he
Mhm.
because he's stupid. I think is the main anything that makes him look stupider. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But Henry is the one who barges in. He recognizes ahead of time that something is going on in Victor's life and that he's going to help him. He's going to make a change to stop him. And in the novel, everyone around Victor sees something is wrong with him, but just lets him go. And this is
Mhm.
why I kind of go back and forth on it is I like giving Henry a more active role in things because obviously they're friends. Obviously he knows his friend. He knows something is wrong with him. He's going to do what he can to help him. The reason that I kind of go back on it is that again, the point is that no one deserved this. No one's
Mhm.
actions but Victor's caused any of these deaths, any of this pain. So the fact that Henry tries to destroy the bride creation, that's why the creature lashes out at him and kills him. And that's like I'm like, that's a choice
Hmm.
that I made that I see, I acknowledge.
But when we make the
Eh,
real
yeah,
movie, maybe it's different.
yeah, something to consider.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. What else have we got? Young Frankenstein, good movie.
Young Frankenstein, it's funny. It's German expressionist, but it's not. And Gene Wilder's in it. I mean, yeah, it's like it's a German expressionist style comedy. Like, so what are you gonna say? I like that he's like the great grandson of Frankenstein, like the real one.
Yeah,
I like that he lives in the United States and he gets on a train and just ends up.
that's so funny.
That honestly, that was my favorite joke of the whole thing. This like transcontinental, like across the ocean train ride. Sure.
That
Funny.
that rocks. Of
Like why
course.
not?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like that he like insists on it's interesting they have so many different pronunciations of the last name in this movie
Every
and like
single
the
possible
incorrect
variation.
all of them and like the ones that he calls out as incorrect are the right one. Like if you're speaking in German, that's like the correct way to say it. But he's like, no, no, no.
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. You're like, what?
Mhm.
But it reminded me,
Okay, I'm Igor.
I guess if we can all just say whatever we want. My my mom had these neighbors growing up that it's like a bunch of brothers who like they grew up in the same place and you'd think they'd have the same way to pronounce their last name. But as they like moved out and traveled the world and then came back, they all came back with like different regional pronunciations of their name depending on the place that they lived outside of
That's
home.
funny. That's
And so
awesome.
now they all like it's Blaser, and some of them say it Blazer, and some of them say it Blazer, and some of them say it Blouser. But it's all the same fam. It's all the same family. These are
How
like
do you even get
cousins,
Blouser?
right? They're adding
I
another
guess
letter in there to get Blouser, which is very funny. And so it kind of reminded me of that. I'm like, it's all the same family, but they're all like, no, I'm gonna do my own thing, and then just kind of change a vowel sound.
I like that. That does make it easier to keep track of everybody. We've got
Right.
like the
Because it's like,
borers
well,
in our
these are the Blazers
family.
and these are the Blothers. So that's
Yeah,
different.
you know
Yeah.
exactly which one you're talking about. Because like
Yeah.
if someone in Idaho is like, oh, the borers are coming over. Well, which ones? We got three different families,
Right.
and they're all equally kick ass.
Yeah. Because
And I
in
so
my
like
family
that.
there's like a generational difference between a
Hmm.
last name pronunciation, but I like that within the generation they've all decided on their own pronunciation.
Yeah,
That's
that's
so
neat.
good.
That's a fun thing. The last thing that I want to do is just go through like we've already talked about most of these, but I just for the sake of saying it, there are a couple things that I want to. Oh, I was gonna read this out. This was one of my notes that I had found in my book earlier, and I was
Oh,
like, girl, go. Like, yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, Victor wanted to be God, but he couldn't handle the weight of a condemned individual begging for love.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So food for thought.
much to consider.
Hmm.
Now, I think we had I've had this discussion before in a couple classes with a couple different people that the argument of is Adam a doppelganger for Victor? Or is he a foil? Is he the exact same or is he opposite? And frankly, I think it's a stupid question. I don't think they're similar in hardly any way at all. I
Hmm.
think technically you could argue that Adam was made in the image of Victor's ego, which is huge. And I think
Right.
besides that, nothing. Like
Nothing.
Adam was born with nothing. He's patient. He has this there's the connection with fire, whereas Victor has this connection with lightning and this bolt of lightning. It's because it's destructive. It's there's hardly anything
Hmm.
good about it except that it's you can with fire there's a little bit more. If it's tempered, it can be useful. It can be like creative, but it if it's not taken care of, if it's neglected, it can become destructive. Does that sound familiar? Adam
Hmm.
is humble. All he wants is like a hand to hold. He thinks that the hovel that he lives in is a palace because it is compared to living in dirt and leaves. I've written down here, well, I'll save that one. Victor is feels like he's very methodical. It took him years to create the creature, and somehow all that time he never thought about the consequences. But Adam is more impulsive. He kills William as an accident, and almost every single time he kills after that, it's like an immediate thing that he's like, I'm so angry, I'm gonna do this right now. He doesn't ever really plan ahead. Even when he threatens to visit Victor on his wedding night, he says that he changed his mind. He wasn't actually going to follow through with it
Mhm.
until he got back to see the actual celebration, and then it reignited his rage. All of these things happen impulsively. Um, he's accountable. He never really tries to blame Victor for the things that have happened. He blames Victor for leaving him and abandoning him, but he doesn't say these things are your fault. Actually, he killed them.
Right.
It's his. He knows that he did it. He's not trying to pass it off. Victor is the opposite of all of those things. The reason that I laughed was I had written down Regina George. I was thinking of the one post that's like, I love it when a character is like, "Oh, you want a villain? Fine, I'll be a villain." And they're like, "You're reblogging with this with all these like different characters," but the person I was thinking of when I wrote it was Regina George, and that's who I was
Mhm.
thinking of here. Is like, "Oh, you want a monster? You want me to be a monster? Okay, fine."
Mhm.
And even then, he doesn't like it. He doesn't want to be. He doesn't
He
like
just
hurting
has to
people.
be.
Yeah, because that's the role he's been
Yeah.
given. He's kind of like Megamind in that way.
Yeah. And he's kind of like, you remember how this is kind of a story about womanhood as well?
Hmm.
That's
I
something to
think I
think
remember
about
like
right
that. Yeah.
there. Because something about, we've kind of mentioned before how, like, often women, even if they're the main character of the story, are stuck in the story.
Mm-hmm.
And their choices are limited, or they're like forced to play a certain role, even if they, under different circumstances, would not have chosen that path.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Just something to consider.
Yeah. And we didn't really get to talk about that much about Elizabeth today, but like we could fill up a whole other episode just about her.
Yeah.
Because and she's very like she doesn't even really have any lines. It's just Victor talking
Yeah.
about her.
She's there as like this force of imagination for Victor as he's retelling, probably unreliably retelling his story. But
Yeah.
it's very load-bearing memories. You
Yeah.
can learn a
Yeah.
lot about her by what he says or doesn't say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So just lots of things to think about. I do think it's one of the greatest stories that's ever been written.
And that's going to be controversial because a lot of people are like, Mary Shelley never wrote any classics.
Yeah, I know it's kind of a hot take. But it is the truth. It is one of those, it's like a Hamlet thing where you
Yeah.
read it and you're like, oh no, it's underrated, actually. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sometimes classics are not good. Some like you ever seen Love Actually? You ever
Bad.
heard of it? Bad.
Yeah.
Classic? Bad. Get rid of it. We don't need it. Citizen Kane, it's a classic. Restricted to film classes.
Yeah, it's fine. Like I felt like watching it, I was like, oh yeah, I can see how this is very groundbreaking in terms of like the way that it's filmed. Like there's a lot of shots that are you see in other movies and that are obviously like came from this, but
Hmm.
it is just like such a long movie
Yeah.
where you're like you get the point maybe 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
Like it is a story of this man who's like too ambitious and destroys his own life in the process, much like somebody else I know. Then you can figure that out. You don't have, it's like fine. I think it's a good
Yeah.
movie to watch once. And
Not
we've
this
said
one
this
though.
before, but
Mm.
when have you been at a party and be like, we should watch a movie and pulled out Citizen Kane? Like, so it's a
This,
good movie in technically, like if you're looking at the way that it's constructed, the way that it's filmed, the way that it's edited, good movie. Is it a
yeah.
good watch? Is it a chill hang?
This is the way that I rate movies always. Good or
Hmm.
bad, technically. Fun, not fun.
Hmm.
I anything any of these can be a good movie. Any of these quadrants. I say, but like, do you see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That this whole half, that's the party movie.
Yeah.
If it's a bad movie, but it's fun, party
Then
movie.
you're
If it's
gonna
a
have
good
fun when
movie,
you're
but
watching.
it's fun, you could watch Mad
Ooh,
Max Fury Road at a party. That movie
yeah.
kicks ass. There's a
That movie
flamethrower
kicks
guitar
ass,
guy
and
in
people will
there.
watch it and be like, "Dude, this movie rocks. I
Yeah.
love that we're watching this right now."
You can watch
Yeah.
RRR at a party.
And
Have
I have.
and will again. Yeah. A lot to say about this quadrant.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say it now. I'm just gonna think about it. Because
Let's
unlike
tune in
some
next
people,
time.
I think about my actions. I think about the things I say before I say them. That's funny because it's not true.
It's funny because it's not true. Yeah, but tune in next time and Woody will tell us in detail about the quadrant, the political compass of movie. Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, it's been a normal amount of time since our last podcast.
yeah, just the
So
usual
it's
1 to 6 weeks we
it
have between episodes. Yeah.
is a shame we didn't get to do one with Allison and Michael.
Yeah, that's true.
That would have been
But
fun.
we can
Maybe we could collab with Michael on The Hogfather.
that's true. Yeah, we can
Uh,
invite them to our Zoom calls, of course. And that would be
yeah,
fun.
that would be fun.
Oh yeah. Okay. So in a little while after we've watched enough Draculas, we can do one
Dracula.
like this but about Dracula. But in the meantime, do you have any movies in mind that you want to do like in June?
No,
Okay.
I have
Bye.
none. I've never seen a movie.
I've never
I
watched a movie.
liked Apex. I don't think I have enough to say about it to do an episode.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. And Charlize Theron's in it and Taron Egerton, and I liked him. Egerton? Taron Egerton. That's right.
Yeah.
hmm And I liked it. It only had like
Oh,
two characters, and I thought that was kind of fun. But other than that, I haven't seen a movie.
I've never watched a movie, I don't think. But
Okay.
maybe we can try it.